Josh is practically radiating joy for someone who hasn't even buried Dex yet. It's almost impressive, really. And poor Rocco. He finally gets his mom back, only for her to be so obsessed with Charlotte, the absolute mess of a troublemaker, that she's willing to ditch Rocco, the good child, and abandon him at Christmas. Classic Lulu, always thinking of herself first. On a more positive note, I actually enjoyed Ned and Jason today, and Molly with her mom and dad. Sweet, heartwarming stuff. But Lulu? She didn't even consider Tracy's advice. Instead of protecting Rocco's heart, she ran straight into exactly the situation Tracy warned her about. Watching Lulu light up about talking to Charlotte while Rocco's face fell, tears welling up in his eyes, pure poetry. As for Lulu's Christmas miracle, well, Brennan is clearly winning the Gotcha Valentin game. All it took was Lulu leading him right to Valentin. She didn't even try to hide it. Honestly, it's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, knowing exactly where it's going to crash. And let's not forget that Lulu's known Rocco her entire life. Charlotte, on the other hand, she didn't even know about her until later, but somehow Charlotte takes priority. I'm starting to think Gio might actually be Brooklyn's child with Dante. I mean, they had that summer fling as teenagers, and Brooklyn is clearly hiding something. Loy's face when they were talking about a possible first grandchild? Total giveaway. I can't wait for this drama to unfold. Lulu could have spent Christmas with her son, but no, she had to go chase Charlotte. As for Jocelyn, well, she's been through a lot, and her body might still be in shock. But there's no shame in choosing to be strong and treasure the moments with her family. Just because she's holding it together doesn't mean she's not grieving inside. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Wow, poor Rocco. Seriously, the way Lulu's acting, you'd think her son doesn't even exist. She's so obsessed with Charlotte that she leaves Rocco hanging on Christmas Eve, after he's been by her side this whole time, while Charlotte's been off in another country. Tracy told her to not neglect Rocco, but what does she do? Completely ignores him. He deserves better than this. And Lulu, trying to bring Charlotte home? Yeah, I get it. But does she even hear Tracy's warnings? Lulu's so caught up in getting Charlotte back that she doesn't realize she might lose Rocco in the process. It's like she's forgotten she has another kid. Look, I'm not saying Lulu doesn't have her reasons. Valentine's on the run, with Charlotte in tow, putting her in danger. Sure, she has every right to want her daughter back safe. But still, she needs to get her priorities straight. She's been awake for ages, hasn't seen Charlotte, and still hasn't been there for Rocco like she should. I used to like Lulu, but this version of her? No thanks. It's like she forgot Rocco even exists. Her first kid, the one she knew nothing about, and she puts him second to Charlotte. It's just cold. Joss didn't even seem sad about all this, and honestly, I'm right there with her. Lulu's being mean, selfish, and totally ignoring the fact that she has 2 kids. But the worst part? Lulu just crushed Rocco's heart. She didn't listen to Tracy's warning, and now her Charlotte obsession is going to cost her the one kid who's been there through it all. At this point, Rocco's just an afterthought. Oh, and the part with Jason and Danny. That had me tearing up. Seeing them look at the sky, telling Sam they miss her? Jason is such an amazing dad, unlike his disgusting twin. It really puts things in perspective. Oh, the holiday drama is so rich this year, isn't it? Lulu just waltzes off on Christmas, after 4 years of missed holidays, to go rescue Charlotte. Because, you know, family is everything, except when you're ditching your son to play hero. The look on his face? Heartbreaking. But hey, Charlotte's worth it, right? And let's not even start on Uncle Whiskers. I am so ready for Willow to find out he's been pulling a double shift with Nina. Can you imagine the fireworks at the Quartermain mansion? I'm getting popcorn just thinking about it. Oh, Rick. The guy you invite because you really hope he doesn't show up. Yet there he is, trying to pull his usual stunts. And then there's Alexis, just ready to slap some sense into him. But instead, she's throwing herself into the Christmas chaos. Who knew decorating the tree could be a combat sport? At least Molly got her surprise, which was a win in the end. Watching Christina and Sunny in the plaza, though, the definition of awkward. Now, for the real kicker. So Sleeping Beauty gets a shiny new liver, and within days, she's up and about, not only waking up, but also making a dramatic escape from the slumber center like she's on a mission. She hitchhikes all the way to Port Charles, prancing around like she's been living her best life for the last 4 years. I mean, forget the missing passport, credit cards, or a single shred of logic. She's in a leather jacket, as though that's the only thing she's been doing while comatose. It's not just a soap opera, folks, it's a miracle, written by a group of 5th graders, probably. I would have loved to kick back and enjoy a heartwarming Christmas episode with Lila, Edward, Alan, Monica, Luke, Laura, Tony, Bobby, and the whole gang. But instead, of course, we get one of the saddest, most gut-wrenching episodes I've ever seen on Christmas Day, no less. Perfect timing, right? And don't even get me started on Trina. It's like she's completely forgotten about Taggart. I mean, really? Is she too busy living her life to even remember her own father? Then there's the whole Sunny and Carly situation. Sunny's moved on with Natalia, and no one bats an eye. It's like no problem, right? But Carly gets to know Brennan, and suddenly she's trying to make Sunny jealous. I mean, it's hilarious to watch how she has these people so wound up. She's just that chick, you know? Can't help it. Rick and Alexis? They act like they've still got a thing for each other. I'm just sitting here thinking, really guys? Still? But hey, at least Jason is finally mixing it up with the cues again. Instead of just being a background extra in the Sunny and Carly show, he's actually doing something interesting, a much-needed change. And here comes my unpopular opinion. Everyone loves to bash Lulu for leaving to be with Charlotte, saying she's pathetic for ditching Rocco on Christmas. But what if she hadn't left? Would people still be calling her pathetic for not going after her daughter? Let's not forget, she was making a whole scene around town demanding answers about Charlotte. Maybe she had to go, or maybe she'd just be getting bashed for staying and stirring the pot even more. Oh, and one more thing, Brennan. Who is this guy, really? I mean, all we know is that he's the head of WSB and has helped Carly a few times. What was he doing before Port Charles? Was he married? Does he have kids? A secret past we don't know about? Jason, Sunny, and Michael are right to be suspicious. Something doesn't add up here, and I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But hey, that's just my opinion. Feel free to throw your mean comments at me. Lulu should have had enough heart to stay and spend Christmas with her son, who's been patiently waiting for 4 whole years to finally be with his mom. But no, she had to rush off to find Charlotte. Sure, Charlotte is totally fine with her dad, no danger, just chilling. But Lulu? Clearly, she couldn't just hear from Charlotte and call it a day. No, she had to drop everything and go on a Christmas Eve mission. Not exactly making me fall in love with her character right now. And speaking of character changes, let's talk about how they replaced Brooklyn Ray Silzer. Apparently, they wanted the character to be older because, you know, Brooklyn is only 18 in real life. Meanwhile, Braden Bruner is 24, William Lipton is 21, Eden McCoy is 21, and Tabianeh Ali is 22. Guess age really matters when you're playing a soap character, huh? But hey, let's not forget why Valentin is on the run. You know, the guy who's been involved in illegal activities, like smuggling guns. And surprise, surprise, that attracts a lot of dangerous people who might use Charlotte as a pawn. So yeah, Lulu's gotta be worried about her daughter's safety. I mean, who wouldn't be? Also, can we talk about Rick calling Alexis a controlling shrew? Because, wow, he's not wrong. She somehow mysteriously got him to come to her house, only for it to be about decorating. Since when did Alexis turn into the helpless damsel in distress who can't even ask if Rick has plans? Nope, she used Molly as her secret weapon to drag him there. Classic. And poor Rocco finally gets his mom back, only to see her more concerned with Charlotte than with him. Gotta love that. Finally, can someone tell me why they can't just roll Monica downstairs to join the family for Christmas? She's been up there all year anyway. It's like she's never part of the celebrations. Honestly, people complain when Lulu doesn't talk about Charlotte for 2 seconds when she's out of the hospital, and now they're mad because she's trying to actually find her daughter. You really can't win with this crowd. Rick and Alexis, absolutely hilarious. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing, especially when Rick held up the mistletoe. Classic move. But seriously, when is Willow going to find out that Drew was sleeping with her mother? Because that's a bomb waiting to explode. Now I've got a theory. Brooklyn got pregnant by Dante when she was a teenager. He had no clue. She gave up the baby, and Lois made sure that the child, Gio, ended up with someone she knew, so she could still be involved in his life. It's all about staying in the loop, right? And speaking of mysteries, where the heck is Charlotte? Apparently, she's not overseas. Lulu can't just hop on a plane and grab her in a little while. So what's the deal? Let's not forget, we're watching the final product here, the polished, edited scenes with actors delivering lines written by someone else. For the actors, it's just a job. It's their 9 to 5 or whatever hours they work. People get hired, fired, or quit all the time in any job. We don't see the behind-the-scenes chaos, just the finished product. Think about it, none of us are still doing our childhood paper routes, so why would we expect Brooklyn Silzer to stick around forever? Now, let's talk about Lulu. The woman is seriously selfish. I felt so bad for Rocco. Yeah, I get she wants to see Charlotte, but it's like she's totally ignoring Rocco. Not a fan of Lulu right now and the way she's handling things. As for Rick, love the guy, but let's be real, he didn't do much in terms of raising Molly. Sure, he might have had her for the summer vacations, but the writers will throw in that line to make it seem legit. He's just trying to earn those dad points at this point. I need Sasha. I'm absolutely starving here. I haven't been able to eat anything since the 8th, and I've dropped over 11 pounds. I'm basically wasting away, and no one's around to help. Seriously, is there anyone in Kansas City, or even in Kansas, who could step up and be my personal chef? I need help before I literally starve to death. And just to clarify, I live on the Kansas side of Kansas City, not in that miserable place called Missouri. And as for the whole Emma situation, the original actress can't stick around because, she actually has a life in school to deal with. That's why we've got a new Emma. I'm pretty sure this new actress has stepped in temporarily before, so stop with the complaints. It's not the writer's fault or some kind of grand conspiracy to ruin the show. If she's not available, she's just not available. Alexis and Rick, Nancy Lee Grahn and Rick Herbst have such an electric chemistry. It's funny, it's full of tension, and honestly, it's a shame their characters can't stand each other. I mean, he was downright awful to her, but hey, maybe that's what made it so mesmerizing to watch. Once again, Alexis gets a great romance, only to have it sabotaged by her male counterpart being utterly destroyed. Their banter? Golden. But of course, he had to be obsessively fixated on Sunny, completely disregarding everything else. Priorities, right? But honestly, the reason their scenes are magic is because they hate each other. It's that fiery animosity that makes the chemistry even more intense. They've always been fantastic together, but this extra layer of disdain. Genius. Lulu's latest move. A classic example of bad mom behavior. There's been a lot of talk about how her character's portrayal is starting to feel more like JMB's take on her in the early 2000s, back when she was a bratty, reckless teenager with that signature Spencer attitude. And sure, when Eeyore took over, Lulu seemed to mature. By the time she went into that coma, it was like she'd actually grown up. But now, she's back to being the impulsive adult who makes terrible decisions. Take Rocco, for example. The kid is clearly trying his best to do whatever he can to make his mom happy, and that means spilling the beans to Charlotte about Lulu waking up. But Lulu, instead of playing it safe, she decides to go rogue and just take off to find Charlotte without telling anyone. Yeah, that's a genius plan. She knows the WSB is hunting for them, but hey, who needs a game plan when you can just wing it? And asking her son to keep it a secret? That's next-level bad mom behavior right there. That's not just a poor decision, it's the kind of thing that's going to come back to haunt her. Look at G8 casually dropping all these little hints that Jason's life might actually be about to change. I mean, they've got him moving into the Quartermain's place, and suddenly being all buddy-buddy with them. Who saw that coming? Not to mention Jack Brennan trying to recruit him. Because, of course, Jason's just itching for a career change, right? Oh, and then there's the little tease of a romance with Anna. Seriously? Like that's a plot twist we all saw coming. And don't even get me started on how Jason is practically never seen with Sunny anymore. Feels like the days of the dynamic duo are officially over. It's almost like Sam was right years ago when she tried to get through to him, but no, he wasn't listening then. Now, his son's going to need him to be a better man, a man with a family to protect, especially from his old boss and his shady past. I can't even wrap my head around the idea of Jason getting involved with the mother of one of his most intense exes. Nope, not buying it. Next. Okay, let's break this down. First of all, I have more chemistry with my sock sitting in the dirty laundry basket than Football Kai and Trina have together. Seriously, who was behind that casting choice? At least it gives Trina a little romance arc, even if it's just a placeholder for a few months. But great, now there's zero chance of any juicy conflict with Joss over a guy. Thrilling. And don't even get me started on Polistex and Joss. Instead of giving them a real spy or crime adventure, which would make sense given their chemistry, we get Dead Dex. Oh, and Joss is only moderately saddened by it. Fabulous. Unless Cam's actor pulled off some major acting chops in the last 2 years, there's absolutely no chemistry there. What a mess. Now, Frank and Cord have finally figured out what to do with GeoViolin after Maurice's dramatic flare-up last summer, which forced Sunny God to ascend to the role of perfect hero god king of the universe and casually kill off Jagger. And just to spice things up, they recast Emma with Brayden and turned her into a teen version of Zero's Sam. Brilliant. Let's just recycle everything and make her a vampire while we're at it. But what now? Emma's somehow supposed to be linked to everyone except Geo. How does she even become Teen Sam at this point? And seriously, how are they planning to create any kind of triangle or conflict with the 17 to 22-year-old group? The whole thing's just one big question mark. Lastly, shout out to Scarlett for coming back. She's going to crush playing a late teen, but who exactly are they going to set her up with? Frank and Cord already made one guy in her age range gay and another her brother. So, who's left for Charlotte to have a triangle with? I guess we'll see how that all plays out. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.